From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM-FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Here we go. It is 6:59, just before 7 o'clock. We've got news coming up from ABC, our local news from the WSJM newsroom. And we'll get weather and sports and a whole lot of other stuff. We'll talk. It's Paws. You found it.
Yes.
Paws, P-A-A-S. That's the Easter egg company. So who knows if they'll sponsor it or not, but we'll see. All right, we'll talk about this and more. The live stream is now active. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Nearly 200 Venezuelan nationals.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday edition, the Monday, March 24th edition of the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken.
Like your vest this morning.
Thank you.
That's you're rocking it. I was thinking about getting some fleece type vest thingies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go to the clothing store. I never find exactly the right fit.
Fit or look?
Well, same. One and the same for me. Because if it doesn't fit right, it doesn't look right. If it does fit right and look right, I get it home, I wash it, it's immediately done, and I can't wear it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I buy one size up, this really torques me that they broke this. Then it's too baggy. Right. And I get comments from my wife. She says, it's too baggy.
I've got a couple new shirts my wife has bought me that when I put them on, I look like a sausage.
In a good way?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's tough. Why can't they just make shirts like standard and just leave it there?
Like shoe size.
Yeah, shoe size. Exactly. Great. Shoe size.
Shoe size. Just like shoe size.
She shines shoes at the shoe size store. No, you're exactly right. I mean, shoes, they settled and they stopped. And I take that back. Not all shoe sizes are made the same.
No, but basically.
For the most part. Right. For the most part, they're pretty good. I've never really understood the wide foot thing.
Oh.
Like, what is it, D or whatever?
D, double, D or double D in the E.
Yeah. Is that for people who have really flat feet?
Or just wide feet?
My toe's feeling better, thank you very much.
Hey.
Last week I was limping around again, and I blame the cold weather activating my arthritis.
Did you do your morning salt?
I did my salt on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice a tremendous, miraculous difference.
Well,
so I forgot. I know. I'm supposed to do it for how long until you noticed a difference?
I did about a week.
Okay. So my morning routine, I should have done it this morning. I'll start it tomorrow morning. My morning routine is when I wake up, before I head out the door, I drink about 8 ounces of water, just like one big. And I usually put lemon in it. Okay. So I'm wondering if I put just a pinch, because you said just a pinch.
Yep.
And I actually put like 3 pinches in when I tried it on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. So I will try that, and I'll do like a 5-day stint.
There you go.
And see what it feels like.
Yep.
Okay. Because Mike brought me some magical mineral salts, which are probably laced with fentanyl or something like that.
Of course.
But it makes me feel better.
That's why it's called Baja salt.
Baja salt.
From Mexico.
So that'll be fun. No, I spent most of this weekend imbibing kombucha.
Oh.
Now, you've had kombucha.
Yeah.
You like kombucha.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's not like I'm like, man, could I ever use a big glass of kombucha today?
Well, and so my son Samuel and Stephanie and I went to Grand Rapids to go pick up my suit, and there's a kombucha place up there, Sacred Springs. It's really good. And we went up there and treated Samuel, because he loves kombucha.
Okay.
To a flight of different kombuchas, and so he was having a great time, and we enjoyed it. That's where I bought my replacement SCOBY, my symbiotic culture of bacterial yeast, to make my own kombucha at home. And so I like 3 weeks ago, I made another batch of kombucha, and I bottled it this last weekend, yesterday, and then created a new batch using some blueberry syrup. I made my own blueberry syrup. Yeah. So I think I'll bring some in.
Okay.
If you like.
Yeah.
And I use I primarily use a green tea base, but this one I used a black tea base.
Oh.
Well, for one of them I made a black tea base, and then the other one with the blueberry syrup I made green tea base. But I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. All right, we digress. I don't know what we're talking about. We'll talk about the weather. We'll talk about news. We'll talk about sports. It's all coming up. And we'll see if we got a bracket update yet. Do we have a bracket update?
I don't think so.
Brad, what the heck? Oh, he says he's working on it now. Okay. 7:04, it's the WSJM Morning Show, Monday, March 24th. Good morning. We'll be back in a moment, right here on WSJM. Moment.
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning and welcome to Monday, March 24th. Happy to have you here. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken.
Temperature outside right now in Benton Harbor, we dropped a degree. It's now 33.
What in the world is going on?
33 degrees out there. St. Joseph, 34. South Haven is 33 degrees. The feels like in Benton Harbor right now is 16, so that has stayed steady. Although in St. Joseph, they dropped down. It feels like 14 degrees there.
So what would happen if we told people it feels like 40? And they're like, man, it seems awful
people
cold
would say,
for 40.
You're kind of wrong. Forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies, becoming partly cloudy. A chance of rain or snow today, just a small chance. A high today around 46 degrees. The wind is going to continue to blow out of the west, gusting to 40 miles per hour. You know, I saw a lot of seagulls. Well, not seagulls, but, gulls. I call them seagulls, but they're gulls.
Gulls.
Somebody corrected us. They called us dumb bunnies because they're not seagulls because they're not in the sea.
So now they got to be ripping on bunnies?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with dumb bunnies? They're still cute.
Right.
Anyway, the gulls are making their trek back and forth from Orchards Mall to the beach. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to do a follow-up story on that to see what's going on there. Yeah. Forecast for tonight, partly cloudy, low around 30, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, helping the gulls get to the lake. Get back from the lake. Tuesday's forecast, to the lake, helps them get to. I don't know. Tuesday's forecast, partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain, snow, high around 44 degrees tomorrow. The wind calming down just a little bit, still out of the northwest, about 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, partly cloudy and a chance of rain or snow, increasing on Friday to about 50%. The highs on Wednesday and Thursday are going to be in the upper 40s. Friday, we might get into the mid-50s. So that'll be nice. Some of the news from the WSJM newsroom. This was interesting. AAA of Michigan has a new study out there, and they looked at people who use marijuana because, marijuana's recreational marijuana, legal.
Totally legal.
In Michigan now. They say 47% of Michigan drivers who smoke marijuana say it has no impact on their driving. 47%.
Interesting.
Think that it has no impact on the driveway. The new study from AAA of Michigan says 53% of people who smoke do so an hour or less before driving. Spokesperson Adrian Woodland outlined the dangers of driving high.
Fatigue and sleepiness, brain fog, changes in visual or auditory perception, impaired body movement, as well as hallucination and delusion.
Woodland calls driving while high an emerging problem. AAA's survey found 44% of respondents said they consume cannabis multiple times a day. 57% indicated they drive daily. 84% revealed they drive the same day that they consume cannabis. And 46% believe they either drive the same or a little better or much better while they're high.
Well, probably slower.
I guess there's less road rage.
Right.
And you get the fun experience of pronouncing road in many different ways.
Yes. Yeah.
Road.
Road.
Other news. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting study there, and I wonder if it's in preparation of maybe some stricter driving while intoxicated laws.
Could be.
Because just because it's legal doesn't mean you should party before you start driving.
Right.
In that way. Okay, other news. Cass County residents can get a head start on their spring cleaning with a free hazardous waste event coming up next month. Sponsored by the Cass County Board of Commissioners, the county
So if
will...
you got uranium laying around, now's your time to get rid of it.
Hazardous waste is not just uranium. Household hazardous waste and tire collection is going to happen on April 23rd. They want to give people a lot of notice so they can get their stuff in order and get ready for it. Interim County Administrator Jennifer Renfrow tells us that this event is an opportunity for residents to dispose of their used tires and hazardous waste items.
These events are part of our ongoing efforts to keep Cass County as beautiful, clean, and safe as possible. Improper disposal of those hazardous waste can be harmful to our environment, groundwater, public health, and, just in general, our natural resources that we treasure.
Residents may drop off up to 300 pounds of household chemicals and other type of waste, such as batteries, car fluids, garden fertilizers, and other chemical or hazardous waste items from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Cass County Road Commission. After the 300-pound limit is reached, you can still dump stuff, but there's going to be a charge of an additional $1.74 per pound. Yeah.
That could get pricey.
Major appliances, air conditioners, fireworks, motor oil, and fire extinguishers will not be accepted. Tires can also be dropped off at the Road Commission office until 6 p.m. I mean, you think about it, you're thinking, okay, 300 pounds, I can easily get under that. No problem at all. You start weighing old paint cans, that stuff adds up quick.
And a car battery or two.
Oh my gosh, the car batteries are so heavy these days. Anyway, and they don't last as long.
They don't. And they're more expensive.
All right. One other story for fishermen. If you're concerned about the area's waterways and what's happening with fishing right now, coming up on April 9th, the Michigan, because April's right around the corner. We're already at March 24th. We're almost through the month of March.
We are. It's like the last week.
Coming up on April 9th, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Lake Michigan Citizens Fishery Advisory Committee will begin to discuss how fisheries and related programs can be adjusted for the year to meet the latest challenges or concerns that are facing the lake. DNR Lake Michigan Basin Coordinator Jay Wesley tells us the Citizens Fishery Advisory Committee is made up of industry stakeholders that advise the DNR on the best way to protect the resource that is our Lake Michigan.
This committee started out as a task group back in the late 1980s when salmon populations crashed in Lake Michigan due to bacterial kidney disease. So they, at the time, were started just to work with the DNR to help find solutions.
That body eventually morphed into the Citizens Fishery Advisory Committee. Wesley says it included groups interested in fisheries like charter boat captains, a steelheaders group, conservation clubs, Trout Unlimited, and even some tackle industry representatives.
We go to the committee and get their recommendation on, what the stocking levels should be, what species we should stock, what ports, regulations on different fish species, and things like that.
The committee will review the latest data and make proposals on bag limits for some kinds of fish. Wesley says no major changes are expected out of the meeting, but it's important for these talks to take place as the lake is constantly facing challenges from threats, including invasive species. There will be a second fisheries workshop April 17 in South Haven. That'll be held at the American Legion Hall. We have all the details on our website, WSJM.com. Wesley says you can learn the latest information on Lake Michigan fisheries by attending those meetings. And finally, this is a little bit out of our area, but does affect some agricultural interests. A food plant in Fenville is expected to close this summer. ConAgra, the Chicago-based ConAgra brands, confirmed the pending closure, saying it would happen by the end of June. Company officials say the decision is based on the need to operate overall operations as efficiently as possible. The plant currently employs about 85 people. No word if they'll be transferred, if they'll just lose their jobs. The company lists 3 other Michigan facilities in Macomb, Quincy, and Imlay City. ConAgra owns a number of food brands, including Birdseye, Duncan Hines, Healthy Choice, Marie Callender's, Ready Whip, and Slim Jim. There you go. That's where our stuff goes.
Yeah, Ready Whip and Slim Jim.
No, Marie Callender's pies.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff. And Duncan Hines. Mm-hmm. Chocolate cake.
Yeah.
All right.
Cake. Go back to the cake.
Cake. Go back to the cake. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. That's a look at some of the news that we're covering. We'll have more in just a moment. I have some crime files from the Dunderhead section.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk about those in just a moment. Some unbelievable stuff. Some stuff that will literally shock you if you're the wrong person. Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Sports right now with Dave Wolf.
March Madness Round 2.
Oh, my goodness. You're not going to believe these stories. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Let me have it.
Is this thing on?
I'm preparing myself.
Okay. Good morning to those of you on the video live stream. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're, if you have a bracket, a sports bracket, feel free to let us know how you're doing. We talked about the Easter egg roll at the White House and how it's going. They're soliciting some corporate sponsors. How about Rolls-Royce for the Easter egg roll?
Yeah, that would be good. Or
Rolling.
Goodyear tire,
Why Goodyear tire?
because it rolls.
Oh, okay. But Rolls has rolls in the
Right.
Rolls-Royce.
Speaking of marijuana, what if they did like paper roll, like what was that, the Raw or whatever, where they roll their marijuana in rolling paper?
Huh?
Rolling paper. Let me say it again. Rolling paper.
This Easter egg roll brought to you by Zigzag.
Right.
You're the official rolling paper of the Easter egg roll.
For sure.
Oh, man. That'd be so bad. Or this Easter egg roll brought to you by Pampers for when the little ones have an accident, even at the White House or something. White House lawn not feeling so green? Okay.
Right. Or maybe it's too green now.
Green?
Or peeing, the kids peeing on the
That's
grass.
yellow.
When it grows, it's fertilizer.
It's been a while. All right. Let's see. There's a Rolls-Royce Bandit. I'll give you this one because this isn't that shocking.
Okay.
There's been a man named in a federal complaint accusing him of robbing 2 banks and stealing more than $13,000 in 2 separate incidents. What made it unusual was the person, Dorian Trevor Sykes, fled police in a rented Rolls-Royce during an attempted traffic stop after he robbed a Chase Bank in Oakland County, Michigan, according to court documents. A task force officer with the FBI identified Sykes as the assailant behind 2 robberies that took place in March. March 6th, the male entered the Credit Union 1 branch in Sterling Heights and handed the bank teller a piece of paper before telling the employee, "This is a robbery," before demanding big bills. He wanted big bills. Big bills. Let's see. The teller handed him $10,169, and then the suspect fled. On March 12th, the same man entered a Chase Bank branch in Lathrop Village, and gave the teller a note stating, "Give me all the money. I have a gun. I will kill everyone in here." The teller handed the robber $3,400. So you increase the threat and you decrease the amount of money you get.
Yeah, they don't. I
It pays to be nice.
2 banks and $13,000.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going away for a long time for $13,000.
Yeah, $13,000.
Right.
Just go to go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Law enforcement later confirmed Sykes as the suspect before observing him in the area of MGM Casino. While attempting to pull him over, the man fled, again, still driving the Rolls-Royce SUV. Why is he driving a Rolls-Royce SUV?
It was the easiest thing he could find.
I didn't know until recently that Rolls-Royce made an SUV.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you pull it up, you want to pull it up and take a look at the picture. My assumption, if I remember correctly, it doesn't look that Rolls-Royce-y. It just looks kind of like a
SUV,
a higher ticket SUV.
Oh, it's got the Rolls-Royce front on it, though.
Oh, okay. I mean, does it look fancy?
Yeah, but not.
Does it look like it has an umbrella in the door?
Not for the sticker that they want for it.
What do they want for it?
This is the 2025 Rolls-Royce Cullen all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Goes for $499,995.
$500,000?
Yeah.
Seriously? Who's renting that?
And it's pretty boxy.
If you're a rental car company and you've got Rolls-Royce on the lot, you got to reevaluate your business model.
Here's a 2004 with only 762 miles on it for $355,000. This is great deal. It's in Indiana, and it's purple.
Like bright purple or like dark purple?
No.
Is it sparkly? I want a sparkly. If I'm going to have a purple Rolls-Royce SUV, I want a sparkly one.
Oh, and they have the suicide doors. The
suicide
open.
doors.
Yeah, they do that.
Let's see. In mid-March, the owner of Southfield's Dream Luxury Car Rental told a local media station that a customer rented a Rolls-Royce for $1,750 a day.
Well, that's why I had to rob the bank.
Yeah, to pay for the rental. That makes sense.
Right.
I had to pay for the rental. The owner of the rental car company said he was unaware that his car was being used in a crime spree until he spotted the vehicle in a video on social media. He says, "This is my car. I got a screenshot. I tried to anyway. That's my car." Probably had about 4 detectives at my house thinking I stole the bank money.
Right, sure.
Because it was under my name. The vehicle was later recovered with about $15,000 in damages. What is that, like a fingerprint smudge on the dashboard or something? According to the federal complaint, the person who is suspected of committing the crimes was on supervised leave since February of 2024 for a conviction associated with another bank robbery that happened back in 2020. At that time, he was driving a black Mercedes sedan. So he upgraded. Yeah.
When I was in Florida.
Hang on, clock.
Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll see a few flurries to start out, but otherwise becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. Breezy and cold with a high of 46. Partly cloudy to clear skies tonight. We drop down to 30. And tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds. High temperatures will be right around 44. As we head into Wednesday, we're looking at high temperatures in the mid-40s, but 50s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:20, it's the WSJM Morning Show. What a pretty clock that is. It's March 24th. I say clock because sometimes on the video live stream, Mike and I, we get very entangled in conversation. Then all of a sudden he wants to start a new story, and I got to remind him, hey, we have a clock. So is that triggering to you? Does anyone say clock when you're not here? And all of a sudden you just went,
No, nobody says clock other than here.
And we were talking about somebody who was robbing banks over in the Detroit area, and they were using a rental car. Which, okay, that makes sense. If you're going to rob a bank, if you decided you want to rob a bank, might as well use a rental car rather than your own.
Certainly.
I mean, as long as you're renting it under an alias, not connecting yourself to it. But I mean, because everyone has cameras everywhere,
right?
So there's no driving. But the guy was not just renting a regular car. It was a Rolls-Royce SUV.
Yeah.
And what do they retail at? The 2025 Rolls-Royce SUV?
$499.
$499,000. This guy was renting it.
0% financing.
Oh, 0% financing. That's because they expect anyone who's going to come in. Well, number one, if you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Right.
Number two, if you're buying one of these, you better use cash.
Yeah.
But the guy was renting the car for $1,750 a day. Was he actually paying for that, or did he stiff the rental car company on that too?
Could have been a stolen credit card.
Oh yeah, all kinds of crimes.
I'm sure.
All kinds of crimes. Good morning and welcome back to the WSJM Morning Show. We're looking on the video live stream. My son Stuart says his brackets are about 60% right now. That's probably better than most of America. Let's see. I'm still looking for an update from Brett on our Ken and Associates bracket challenge, and I don't see it. Still working on it. Still there. But, I don't know. Do you have any sense of how your brackets did over the weekend for the NCAA March Madness?
There's certainly some upsets in there. As we come down to the final, the Sweet 16, I'm sitting pretty good.
Okay.
But there was some upsets in the beginning.
Did you stay with the home teams, Michigan State?
Not Michigan, but Michigan State.
Because despite logic, despite records, I chose both of them to keep going. So we'll see.
I have
the Michigan one I have less confidence in.
I have the final being Michigan State and Duke.
Okay.
So
I might have had that. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at my brackets. They're in the other room. Let's see. Other news that we have this morning. This one was interesting to me after the bank robbery one. There was a nurse who tricked a woman into thinking she had terminal cancer and injected her with a fatal dose of insulin so that she could try to claim a possible $1.5 million life insurance policy. A nurse who tricked a person into thinking they were dying.
Okay.
This is in Utah. Registered nurse Megan Randall Sundwall injected her friend, quote unquote friend, Casey Terry, with a lethal dose over the summer, according to newly surfaced police documents. Investigating police found more than 28,000 texts between the two women that showed Sundwall had a fixation with helping her friend commit suicide. The text exchanges, which date back to December of 2019, included messages detailing different ways Megan would kill herself if she was Terry, and Megan offering to help her friend die due to the illness that she had. The messages also allegedly included discussions about Sunwall's apparent financial woes and how being the beneficiary of Terry's life insurance policy would fix everything. She's on these texts for 5 years saying, you're going to die. Let me help you die in a peaceful, dignified manner.
Well,
and by the way, would you mind naming me your life insurance beneficiary?
right.
When her friend didn't do it quick enough, she helped.
Sped it up a little bit.
Registered, so she was a registered nurse. It was not immediately clear if Terry even had a policy, although Sunwall apparently believed she did, and that the nurse was set to score a $1.5 million payout from it. Terry's family expressed relief after learning of Sunwall's arrest, saying they believed she was trying to kill her for years. Last August, Sunwall sent a text saying, "Do you want me to take some promethazine when I get there so that you're asleep when this is happening?" Police were called to Terry's home after her uncle said she found her unresponsive and gasping for air as if she were drowning. Sunwall told investigators she had been alone with Terry all morning and that she had been suffering for several hours that day. Paramedics reportedly discovered a diabetic needle at the scene. When Terry arrived at the hospital, her blood sugar level had plunged to 14, which anyone with diabetes knows your blood sugar levels are lethal when you're at 40 or less.
Oh, boy.
She was at 14. Sunwall also claimed that Terry had signaled a do not resuscitate, or signed rather, a do not resuscitate order, and that she didn't want to go to the hospital. So, I mean, just a lot of different things here, but they've got the texts, 28,000 texts going back. And, I mean, that's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Got nothing?
It's unbelievable.
Other news. Let's see. This one is disturbing as well. There's a New Jersey mother who was arrested after she forced her child to wear a dog shock collar.
Who wore the shock collar?
There was a New Jersey mother who forced her child to wear a dog shock collar, and apparently she activated it, and it left marks on the child's neck. 30-year-old Kimberly Cruz Feliciano was charged with 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of witness tampering with the threat of force, and 1 count of hindering, according to the Cape May County Prosecutor's Office. The abuse was uncovered in March on the 17th, on St. Patrick's Day, when the child arrived at Cape May City Elementary School with visible marks on the neck.
2 prong marks.
Right, which were later determined to be caused by a dog shock collar. The prosecutor's office and the Special Victims Unit launched a joint investigation. Cruz Feliciano was arrested the following day. Investigators learned that she also threatened the child with more violence if the abuse was reported.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the shock collars. You know, I mean, they're used to train dogs.
Right.
Probably cats too. Right?
Right.
Oh, sorry. Shock collars can deliver electrical charges, they say, as high as 100 volts. The victim told officers that the collar was kept in a bedroom with items belonging to the family's dead dog, and that the collar was charged regularly even after the animal's death, and then reportedly used on the child. That's horrible.
It is.
That's just something else. What are people thinking?
I did see a video of a bunch of college students spring
breaking.
breaking.
No.
Yeah. All had dog
with shock collars?
Yeah, and they were doing free throws. If they made the free throw, you didn't get shocked. And everybody else standing in line got shocked. But if you didn't make the free throw, then you got shocked.
The ironic thing is they're going to higher education while they're doing this.
Yes. Yeah.
Dear Lord.
It was pretty funny to watch, though.
Let's see. Anyway, let's see. Pope Francis is out of the hospital.
Spring breaking. He's also spring breaking.
He's spring breaking. That's right. Pope Francis waved to hundreds of people gathered outside Rome's hospital where he was staying for, gosh, it was several weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was in for a long time with that double pneumonia. He left the hospital after surviving the life-threatening bout of pneumonia. In his first public appearance in weeks, the 88-year-old Pope said, "Thank you, everyone." He gave a thumbs up and acknowledged the crowd after he was wheeled out on a hospital balcony overlooking the main entrance of the building. The crowd was chanting all kinds of support. His appearance was just a few minutes before a motorcade carrying him wound its way through Rome traffic on Sunday en route to a nearby church before heading to the Vatican. Security guards told Associated Press that Pope Francis was headed to St. Mary Basilica, where his favorite icon of the Madonna is located and where he always goes to pray after a foreign visit. So once he got back on the terra firma of the Vatican,
back to work.
Back to work. They don't know if he's going to be attending or performing any masses for Easter service. So they say still too early to tell on that.
Are they taking corporate sponsorship?
Right? Like the White House with the Easter egg roll. I will be curious to see if any companies bite at that. I bet Tesla will.
Yeah, although I don't know. I just got a feeling somebody's going to step up and it's just going to be audacious.
Yeah. Maybe the Democrat National Party will buy a sponsorship. This Easter egg roll brought to you by people who want this lawn back.
No eggs for you.
No eggs for you. All right, one other story. Let's see. Conan O'Brien received the 26th Mark Twain Prize for American Humor at the Kennedy Center.
Oh, look at that.
The Kennedy Center has been in the news because President Trump fired the board there and all this other stuff. Among those celebrating O'Brien were his longtime comedy peers Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Stephen Colbert, Tracy Morgan, Bill Burr, along with others who have been influenced by his work, including John Mulaney. I love John Mulaney. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's so funny. O'Brien was announced as this year's Twain Prize winner. Accepting the prize last night, O'Brien pointedly thanked former board chair David Rubenstein and former President Deborah Rutter. They're the reason I'm here. Honestly, I don't know why they're not here tonight. Someone should give him a newspaper.
Yeah, that's the reason.
O'Brien is a 5-time Emmy winner who wrote for Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons. He received high marks for his recent hosting of the Oscars. What stood out during the Mark Twain Prize was O'Brien's reputation as a team player who lifts up other comics. Sarah Silverman said, even after I lost my job, my first and only job in show business, Conan kept having me on his show like all the time. And each time it was just such a magical experience, like a first date with someone who's so funny and so charming, you kind of trick yourself into thinking they're hot. So she's funny. Adam Sandler told O'Brien, you're faster than all of us. You're nicer than all of us. You bring out the best in all of us. So a very nice recognition. Yeah. Conan O'Brien, he's fun.
He is, and they invited him to do the Grammys again next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. At least you got that paycheck coming in.
That's right.
Let's see. All right. With 7:32, we've got more news to talk about. We've got our financial update coming from Bloomberg. In just a moment, we'll have the latest world and national news from ABC and check in on our news from the WSJM newsroom. It's all coming up next here on WSJM.
So, you want a free checking account that pays you a high rate?
Okay. Unlimited clock. Go.
Okay. So, as I was interrupted before and said that...
Okay, clock. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And when I lived in Florida, there was a guy who robbed a bank, and he had a van that he was selling. So he had his phone number in the back window of the van.
He was selling the van, and he didn't take off the for sale sign?
He did not.
Oh,
so he went inside, robbed the bank, jumped in his van, drove home, and the cops just showed up at his house.
People. All right. John says good morning. Good morning, John. Good to see you. Stuart said hello. Hello, Stuart. And others. I wonder if Bill's out there. Good morning, Bill. Hope you had a good, fun racing weekend if you were doing
Bill's
that.
Out there. He was the first guy on.
Oh, okay. I'm only seeing a limited number of comments.
Oh.
I don't know why. My software is broken again. Yeah, bank robberies, I guess I just don't think of them happening as much anymore.
Well, and the old idea that, you're right up on your horse and you rob the bank and you take the payroll like you did off the train and you are set for life, that's not the way that works.
Yeah.
Like the drawers in a bank, they only have so much money. I mean, they're not new to this game, so.
No, here, let's see. What does the FBI have to say about it? Let's see. Every year, this is according to the FBI, this is on one of their about pages. Every year, bank robbers steal millions of dollars from banks, credit unions, armored car companies. See, I would go for the armored cars because that's a collection point.
And it's a good movie.
And it's already on
You can
wheels.
sell the movie rights when you're in prison.
And related businesses. In some cases, these criminals have weapons and may threaten or even harm employees and customers. The FBI focuses its investigative resources on suspects who pose the greatest safety threats to the public, including the most violent and or most prolific serial offenders. We also assist our state and local partners in investigating bank robberies. I mean, because basically, if you rob a bank, you're committing interstate commerce, a crime against interstate commerce. It immediately becomes a larger crime than if you just knocked over a grocery store or something
Liquor
like
store
that.
or something.
Yeah. So I mean, they've got stuff. Yeah. March 19th, Pittsburgh man pleads guilty to Reserve Township bank robbery. March 19th, Dublin man pleads guilty to 3 armed bank robberies. March 18th, East Liberty man sentenced to over 9 years in prison for a series of bank robberies. March 17th, bearded bandit bank robber sentenced to New Year's Eve 2019. The long arm of the law will get you. Do not go rob banks.
Yeah.
Public service message for today.
Yeah.
Do not go rob banks.
When you grow up, do not aspire to be a bank robber.
And even if you don't grow up.
Right.
Here's the bank crime statistics of 2023. Let's see. Okay, so if you were like me and you didn't think banks were getting robbed anymore, you're wrong. So
You're so wrong.
In 2023, the number of commercial banks that were robbed, any guesses? Number of commercial banks robbed in the United States?
1,100.
You're right. You're correct. Look at you. 1,112 robberies. Although there were only 71 burglaries. Burglaries. And 3 larcenies. The mutual savings banks, only 1 got robbed. Savings and loan associations, 10. Credit unions, 126. Let's see, armored car carrier companies, 3. Only 3 armored car carrier companies got robbed in 2023 for a total of 1,263, because there are a couple other there. The majority of bank robbers are male, broken down by race. You've got whites, blacks, Hispanics, very few number of Asian, and then it goes to other as far as category goes. Occurrences by day of the week. All right, go 2 for 2. What do you think the most popular day to rob a bank was in 2023?
Most popular
day of the week to rob a bank in 2023. And then I'll go for time of day. But
Thursday.
First, you think Thursday is the most popular day of the week?
Yeah.
You would be wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, you broke your winning streak. The most popular day of the week to rob a bank is Friday. Yeah, 280 occurrences occurred on Friday. The second most popular day of the week to rob a bank was Tuesday, 252 in 2023. The most popular time of day to rob a bank. And it goes
10 a.m.
Okay, well, you said 10 a.m. You'd be wrong again. The most popular time is between 1 and 3 p.m. Yeah, 1 and 3 p.m. You good with that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, obviously it's not a good
Never really
idea.
thought about it? Okay.
Don't you feel like if you robbed a armored truck, it's just you got to come in hot, right?
Oh, you mean packing heat? Here, hang on a second. We have to get back to the show. One moment.
People. Meanwhile, Dollar General removed language promoting diverse teams from its annual report. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
We're using the lingo on the video live stream this morning. We're talking more about bank robberies. And in fact, we were reviewing the bank crime statistics of 2023 as put forth by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. And Mike said, don't you think if you're going to rob an armored truck, you got to come in hot?
Yeah.
Of course you have to come in hot. You've got the Wi-Fi all around you and your blood's already boiling.
Exactly.
So you're coming in hot.
Off the rails.
You're coming in hot. All right. We'll talk more about that on the video live stream in a second. That's where you get exclusive content. So you don't know what you missed until you go back and listen to the live stream that we just had a moment ago. It's fun. All right. Forecast for today, mostly cloudy skies, becoming partly cloudy, only a 20% chance of rain or snow today. Probably rain if we get it. High around 46 degrees, west winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. It rained yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It rained pretty hard. The wind was blowing around. Did you get stuck in that at all?
No, but I had to walk through. So my son was in town and he needed a brake job done on his vehicle. So that was
yesterday?
Yeah, so we did.
Who's doing a brake job on Sunday? Are you doing that?
Yeah, we did it. He and I.
What, do you have like a mechanic shop in your backyard? What are you doing?
We tried to be in the garage, but I had to go between garages and it was raining and
you have to jack the thing up for that?
Oh yeah.
Is there a lot of cursing?
Yeah. Yep.
Where do you get the parts for that?
AutoZone.
Were you just putting new pads on?
And rotors.
Oh, you did the rotors too?
Yeah. And then
that kind of complicates the job, doesn't it?
Yeah, just wait. And then the first wheel we started working on, the caliper was bad. So then I had to go buy a caliper and then bleed the brakes and all that stuff. It was just
bleeding the brakes is not fun.
No.
So what year was the car?
2016.
Oh.
So the first wheel took us, because we had to go back and back, it took us about 4 hours.
Oh.
The
wow.
second back wheel took us a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fronts took us 15 minutes a piece.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, once we got going, we were going. But
first one was 4 hours.
Yeah, because we had bolts break. We had to go get had to go to St. Joe didn't have it. Go to Stevensville and get the caliper. Yeah, it was just a lot.
Wow. Well, that was very brave of you to take on that job at all. So that's is there any follow-up, like checking on to make sure you had the bolts, the nuts tightened correctly and everything?
Yeah, we take it for a test drive. He takes it for a drive. I take it for a drive. And
you like jam on the brakes and everything? Oh,
yep.
Screech the tires and then have to replace the tires?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very good. How much money you figure you save on that?
I think that job would have been about somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200.
Okay.
And we got it done for less than $5. So
oh, okay.
Just parts.
No labor. Yeah,
no,
very nice.
I don't get paid.
No charge for the labor. But you got the experience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Dads don't get paid.
Okay, very good. Well, you can apologize to him later for your curse words.
No, he held his own.
He can take it.
He held his own.
741 WSJM Morning Show continues. We've got news from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Overnight deportation.
I'm jealous. We have to get back to the news thing here, but I'm jealous. I mean, brake job. That's fun. The bleed in the brakes is what prevents me from wanting to do that.
Well, as long as you're not changing out the caliper, you don't have to worry about it. But just doing pads, it's not a big deal.
But if you're doing the rotors, do you have to mess with that at all? No. Okay. Because the rotors that's if you don't replace your pads in time. Sometimes the rotors start getting dug into by the bad pads.
Right.
So that wasn't the case here, though. Was it?
Well,
it was
where the caliper was bad. So
because the caliper froze.
Right.
That stinks. All right, got to get back for news here in just a moment.
Back.
Ukraine not present at these talks. And genealogy company 23andMe filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy over the weekend. California's Attorney General reminded consumers of their right to delete genetic information. This is ABC News.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:42 is the time. WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. We should probably talk about the 23andMe thing and what that means for people who have accounts with that.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Also, we'll hit our news from the WSJM Newsroom just after 8 o'clock this morning. Some of the stories we'll be bringing you, if you've been down to the concession stand at Silver Beach, that it's changing. It's getting an update, a much-needed update, many would say. So plans to improve the concession area at Silver Beach County Park in St. Joseph moving full steam ahead. We'll give you some insight into what's going to be changing there. And I think it's going to be good because they're making room for a traveling food truck type area.
Yeah, it's needed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the food there, too.
Well, but I mean, it's
nice to have the variety.
So many of these communities have food trucks and all that. And it's just a nice...
Yeah. Absolutely. There should always be a food truck rodeo area in each community just because they're great draws for tourists.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get some kind of different food than the usual. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And did you see when the Mason Jar was doing their remodel?
Yeah, Grand Mare.
Grand Mare offered up their food truck to help them out.
They, and I think that is just a nice, what do they call it? Cooperation. cooperation and competition. It's like, okay, we know you're going to be out without a kitchen for a few weeks, because that's what happened. Is Mason Jar said, we're renovating our kitchen, we're renovating the bathrooms, we're renovating the dining room. Hey, Grand Mayor, we know you have a food truck. Do you mind if we borrow it? And Grand Mayor was all like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Charlie's a good guy.
That's totally good. Other news, we're following volunteers with the Heritage Museum and Cultural Center in St. Joseph. They're sorting through the institution's vast archive as they prepare to vacate the museum's property at 601 Main Street and move to a new location. They're going to hire an archivist to help with all the vast archives to sort through it.
I think you're making up words this morning.
Archivist.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. It's a real word. All right, so those stories and more coming up in just a few moments right here on the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel as he looks at Merriam-Webster's dictionary. We'll get sports from Dave Wolf in just a moment. Do we have an update yet on our brackets? Wachowski, what the heck?
No,
we still have no update? Oh, Wachowski, what the heck? All right, so we've got more coming up in just a moment, except for our brackets in right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
The Michigan News.
Wachowski, what the heck? Should I call him? Let's see if I call him here.
Call him, put him on the radio.
And
maybe he could read it off to us. Give us a little play-by-play.
Let's see, call. Just call him up. We should start doing crank calls.
That would be fun.
How fun would that be? Of course, I have my phone number on it.
Oh, we could block that.
He knows we're on the air right now, so he's not going to pick up.
Hello.
Yeah, it's just ringing.
Wachowski, hello.
Ah! He forwarded it to the thing. Let's see if he texts. Okay. Anyway, WSJM Morning Show continues. What are we talking about here? Oh.
23andMe.
Yeah,
that's,
the 23.
Quite a deal.
Yeah.
So I guess they are filing for bankruptcy. The CEO resigned. The CFO now is taken over, and they're looking for a buyer.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a moment. Have you done one of those?
Yeah, we did.
What did you find?
Well, my genealogy. I mean, that was.
Yeah, what'd you find? What? Anything surprising?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So my
this is the good part.
My grandfather had when I used to ask him what his nationality or ethnicity was, he always would say, "I'm a Texan," which didn't mean a whole lot,
right?
So assuming or he would say he's an Apache Indian. He used to say that a lot.
Okay.
So I was like, well, it could be Native American, he could be Mexican, he could be I don't know. Well, come to find out, none of that was true.
Oh,
he was English. So he goes back to actually a ship captain who came over in one of the colonies.
Oh.
And settled in Virginia.
Okay.
And they so you had that going on. Then I have the other side of my family that was from Germany.
Okay.
And the more of that story that I understood and knew. And then I had a grandmother that's Swedish. So then you start seeing who your DNA matched to.
Okay.
Are possible matches, like third, fourth, fifth cousins, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people that I'm related to out there.
Let's see. I haven't looked at my app forever. Let's see. There it is. Is it still downloaded? It is. Okay. Let me see if I can find my makeup here. Okay. My DNA. So, I mean, you can see my smorgasbord.
Oh yeah! Wow. All kinds of things going on.
Does your map light up like that?
Not like that, no.
Yeah. That's how my map lights up. So there's Europe, there's Africa, there's South America, Mexico, Southwest United States. But, I mean, it's fascinating to me. It's just fascinating. And it confirms a lot of what I knew. Because on my father's side, very European, very much Scandinavian on his side. And stuff just didn't shift very much. What do you got?
Evan says, Mike Weibel, what do you charge per hour? I have a mechanic position open. If your other jobs are not panning out.
You don't want Evans because he's in charge of landscape stuff, and so they were probably running over a lot of goose poop on the golf courses and stuff like that. No, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm no.
You're not there?
No.
So anyway, so it confirmed on my dad's side. On my mom's side, it I think it validated some of what we suspected, but weren't always told, because my mom's side especially has a lot of diversity.
Okay.
From Mexico coming up through into the United States to Portugal on my grandfather's side, and yeah, there may even be some French Polynesia stuff in there. I think a lot of this is going to be lost, but as far as the DNA goes, it confirms that there is a mixing pot going on. What are you looking at now?
Yeah,
you got
my
Candy
little-
Crunch.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so you're very focused.
Yes.
You're very focused. I'm very scattered.
So yeah, I had a great grandfather that came to, which is a whole story, but he came to Milwaukee from Germany, and then he registered to fight for the North in the Civil War. And you could see the book where they signed him in, and then he went to Kentucky and signed up in Kentucky and was...
He was a Kentucky volunteer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you think about coming from another country that you're escaping from, and then you come here, and now you're fighting in a civil war that you pretty much don't even probably know what you're walking into, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's awesome. I have family that fought in the North for the Civil War. Well, then the grandfather was from England.
Yeah.
With the colonies.
South.
Yeah. Definitely South. Definitely he had like 12 children, and ultimately deeded some of his humans that he owned to children of his. Oh. So, yeah. So you got that
history.
going. Yeah. So both sides of the fence were whacking at each other. And
all right, we've got to get back on the air. We'll talk about this more in just a moment on WSJM.
This afternoon, breezy and cold with a high of 46. Partly cloudy to clear skies tonight. We drop down to 30. And tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds. High temperatures will be right around 44. As we head into Wednesday, we're looking at high temperatures in the mid-40s, but 50s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. You don't know what you're missing on the video live stream. If you're ever interested in catching up, you can always do so. We have the archive posted there at Facebook and YouTube. Just type in WSJM and you can find it. It's the WSJM Morning Show on our video live stream. Well, Mike, easy way to make sure that you never miss an episode.
well, the best way to do it, I would recommend, is like, follow, and subscribe, and then also hit that little notification bell so that every time we go live, you're notified so you don't miss out on one unfiltered morsel.
That's right. That's exactly right. So like, follow, subscribe, and while you're in it and watching it, engage with it because that pushes it up in the algorithm. So we really appreciate, even if they're funny little emojis, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, or say, just
say hello. Say good morning.
Yeah, say what you think. What's your 23andMe? That if you just did it and you're going to send it in today, don't send it in because you're going out of business.
We'll talk about that in a second. First, we've got to get the Moody on the Market update. The Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And there's a Cass County man who's $1 million richer.
Ooh.
Lottery. Yeah, 65-year-old Robert Cusimano sprang out of bed when he learned the store where he bought his Powerball ticket had sold a $1 million winner.
Wow.
Yeah, he says he woke up because they have the apps now. Have you done this where you have an app for either Powerball or
I don't
Mega
play the lottery enough to
same. But apparently now you have the apps where you can subscribe, right? The recurring. Right. The recurring lottery ticket fee. And then you can check your account so there's never any fear anymore of not claiming a prize because it automatically goes into your account, which I kind of like that aspect.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Because you could wake up one morning a lot happier. Mm-hmm. But he woke up the morning after the drawing. He checked his phone for any alerts, and he said there was an alert there that the winning ticket that was sold at the place where he buys his tickets. Or something, whatever. Cusimano then checked his own ticket and found out it was the big winner, and he said that moment was incredible. He matched all 5 white balls in the March 1 drawing. Didn't get the Powerball, but if you get the 5 white balls, you get $1 million. Woo-hoo. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Says he's going to use the winnings to invest in his future.
Give me a call.
And he says he plays the lotto on a regular, but this is the most he's ever won. If you won the lottery, would you continue playing?
I would think so.
Why? Because the chances of winning
you figure you're good at it.
are very well. You can't be good at that. You're just picking numbers out of a hat. And I mean, if you win the lottery, the chances of you winning again, I mean, astronomical, right? You're not going to win again, except you do see stories where people win again.
Yeah. As we mentioned, my father-in-law turned 100.
Yeah.
He got $150 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets.
You're kidding.
And you want to know what his take was?
How much?
$9.
Are you kidding me?
No, $9.
I would pay somebody $10 to scratch off 150 tickets for me.
Well, it was 150. It's like some of them were $30 tickets, $20 tickets. He did the best on the $1 tickets. So how is it that you buy a $30 ticket and you don't win anything? You think they at least throw you a couple bucks.
Yeah, that would make me so mad.
Yeah.
I get so angry. That's your Moody on the Market update, talking about lottery tickets. Brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And we were talking about our genetics here this morning because 23andMe is going bankrupt.
Yeah, they got issues.
Gene testing firm 23andMe said yesterday it has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection so that it can facilitate its sale after years of struggling to find a sustainable business model. How do you not have a sustainable business model? Your model is you sell genetic information.
Right.
How hard is that?
I would have thought they would have figured that out a couple of years ago
when
they were making money. Hey, we should probably figure out how to keep this going.
Yeah, you should have figured that like 22 years ago or something.
22 and me.
In a statement announcing the bankruptcy, the firm said it's easy for us to catcall from the sidelines, but whatever. I mean, the firm's CEO, Ann Wojcicki, has resigned effective immediately. She'll remain on the company's board of directors. Why?
Yeah.
Probably just so she can say where she kept files and stuff like that.
So she can get paid when they sell it.
After a thorough evaluation of strategic alternatives, we have determined that a court-supervised sale process is the best path forward to maximize the value of our business. That's what Mark Jensen said, who's a chair and member of the special committee on the board of directors. Late last year, the company said it was cutting about 40% of its workforce, around 200 employees, and discontinuing further development of all of its therapies as a part of its restructuring program. What therapies was it doing? Do you know?
Well, I think they kind of did, like that you could do the extra health DNA so that they would tell you like, hey, according to your genetics.
Yeah, Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Its core product, an at-home DNA testing kit, offers personalized genetic insights that the company says can flag potential health risks, such as likelihood of developing Alzheimer's or certain cancers. 23andMe tried to convert one-time buyers into subscribers with the promise of continued feedback and personalized wellness plans, but had reportedly fallen short of its goals. So in September, all 7 of the company's independent directors resigned, citing their frustration with the CEO's strategic direction and efforts to take 23andMe private.
In 2021, they were $320 a share.
Whoa. Really?
And now they're less than $2.
Yikes. I think it all has to do with, what do you do with big data? Big data. Everyone wants to know about their genetics, right? Because, we were talking about our own historical genealogy and that kind of thing. But then also you think about, well, what is the use for science? What can we do with it?
Right.
And what are we allowed to do with it based on the end user license agreement and all that stuff?
Yeah.
But it just seems like that is a treasure trove of data. Now you have to wonder. I didn't do 23andMe. I think we did Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
But now you have to wonder. Okay, my DNA is going to be, my information is going to be sold,
right,
somewhere else.
So they're encouraging you to go on and request your data to be deleted.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So if you want your data protected, they say delete it?
Yeah.
So they can start up another company and sell you that information again?
Right. No, exactly. And I guess all this came about in 2023 because they had a data breach, which caused everybody to run for the hills. And That was the beginning of the end.
Yeah. All right. So 23andMe, if you did that one, take a look and see what the company's telling you to do. Then you might also take a look at independent news sources to see what you should be doing as well.
Right.
All right. We've got a couple more things to talk about. We'll get to next hour. We'll also have a visit from our friends at Cornerstone Alliance. So we'll have that. We'll have other things coming up as well. There was a pilot for United Airlines that forgot his passport for a second time.
I heard that.
A second time.
You think he would get one of those lanyards and just carry it around his neck at this point?
I mean, if you're in charge of driving a bus with wings that goes international,
goes round and round,
a bus with wings that goes round and round, you'd think you'd remember a couple of things. All right, we've got to get some more here. Hang on one second.
It's time for an educational reset.
Insurance Management Service is your local.
Okay, the computer's all messed up. Sorry about that. We've got to do this one and then this
False
one.
alarm.
False alarm. Sorry, we're going to do this one here. And we're going to stop that, and then we're going to hit play on that. Ready?
Ready, go.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM-FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Overnight, another deportation flight